Chapter 2, Problem 4. This is exercise 2.4 in the text. They give us this information and they say, based on this and with these, you have to assume you're given full information. Don't say, yeah, but what if, or if they did this, or if they did that. They give us this information. They tell us, and let's make sure we see the pieces that we need. The predetermined overhead rates for assembly, and I'll do assembly in red, and packaging are $16 per direct labor hour and $12. So packaging is 12 and assembly is 16. So that's the rates they use for their overhead in those two departments. Then they give us the company's direct labor rate, and that's for everybody. Everybody in the company gets paid the same rate. And they tell us that the direct labor rate for everybody is $20. Okay? So now that we have that information, now we can go about answering the question, what are the total costs assigned to this job, N60? And then it says, if the job includes 10 pieces, what's the cost of each piece, each individual unit? So, not so tough. We can do this one. Okay, so let's fill in what we know. The direct labor cost for assembly and is $180. So the direct labor cost for assembly is $180. And the direct labor cost for testing and packaging is $40. Now we know the labor rate throughout the company is $20 per hour. So this job took 9 hours of assembly and 2 hours of testing and packaging. So we just had to take the numbers they gave us and divide by the 20 to see how many hours of each were used, because they used labor hours to compute overhead. So the direct labor is computed as followed. We have the $340 for the direct materials, and we have $25 for the direct materials used in testing and packaging. That total is the total direct materials. So, and again, label, label, label. Direct labor, same deal. We take the 180, we take the 40, $220 of direct labor total. Now, the assembly department, here's why we needed the individual hours. We had to figure out how much overhead. They tell us that for assembly, they apply $16 per direct labor hour. So, we had 9 direct labor hours, $16 per, that's $144 overhead from the assembly department. We'll do the same thing, and again, keep in mind they tell us $12 is the rate they use per labor hour for testing and packaging. So 12, and we had the 2 hours we computed. That's 24. So let's see what we got all together. We have 365. We have 220 for the direct material and direct labor for the job. Then we have 144 overhead from the assembly department. Then we have 24 for the assembling and testing and packaging. When we add that up all together, we come up with the total cost of the job is $753. Now, keep in mind that they told us, and again, I need to make sure you see where this came from, that the job was for 10 units. So, if 10 units cost us $753, and there were 10 units in the job, each unit cost $75.30. Keep in mind that is only an approximation, because perhaps if they did one unit it would be more, because they'd have to have unique setup, unique set of tools, unique skills. So whenever you do a whole job and then divide by the number of units, it's an approximation. It's pretty close, but never 100%.